Hey YouTube, this is Elf Angel from Elf Angel's Creations. I wanted to introduce you guys to some new products that I've recently put on my website at www.elfangelscreations.com. I made 2 magical oils here, and I made 4 medicinal oils. So in this video I'm going to be talking about each. So the first oil here is the Fairybell oil, which is a magical oil. Now the Fairybell oil is you dab it in an area where you like to contact the fairy realm. I just finished doing a live video on Facebook explaining more about this oil and how it's used. In my culture, we call the fairy realm Mimigwesisuk. Other people call them little people. So when you dab this oil in an area, you're actually contacting the fairy realm and the little people. So the elves, fairies, trolls, banshees, mermaids, even all the realms of fairy. So this is very ancient, old elven magic. The Fairybell, we call it in my culture A.W.A.H, something like that, and that basically means that puppy paws. The reason why we call it puppy paws is because when you look at the berry, it's a reddish berry and almost like a velvet-like looking berry. And the when you look under a puppy, their paw, you know that that velvety, puffy part of their paw under their paw. That's how the berries look, and they're very much like that same texture. That's why these are called puppy paws in the Plains Cree culture. The Fairybells are very much like they're white little flowers, and they're shaped like a bell shaped. And it's believed that the fairies will actually live under those bell shapes as they're hiding from people. So that's another reason why it's called Fairybell. It's a very, very ancient old magic that is being brought back to our people. So that there is a Fairybell infused oil. Very, very powerful. The next product I'll be talking about here is the Prairie Sage Magic Oil. Now, dab an area to encourage intuition, protection, and wisdom. Dab on your temples during meditation to help you see into the future. It raises the spiritual vibrations to create a bubble of protection to protect your body, home, and property. Sage oil ensures success and abundance. Keep in cool, dark place when not in use. Now, this prairie sage, what we call it in my culture is we call it Basqua mustus wigwasqua, which means buffalo grass. Some people refer it as Misadim wigwasqua, which means horse grass. But the way I was taught from my elders, it's called Basqua mustus wigwasqua. So it is, it does all those things that I just named there. It also brings healing as well too, and to cleanse the area. So that is another very that's another oil that a lot of people are asking for because they want a Native American magic oils out there, created by a Native American medicine man like myself. Sorry about that. And so that's why I created these products. Now I'm going to talk about the medicinal oils that I carry. This one here is another new oil. This is the Arnica oil. So the Arnica oil is a wonderful treatment for bruises, strains, and stiff muscles. It helps with skin inflammations and rapidly heals bruises. It can also help with any form of blunt trauma or contusions. Keep in cool, dark place when not in use. Now, Arnica oil here is, a lot of people are going to be asking for it, at the beginning of the year because they needed something that'll help them with bruising, strains, and stiff muscles. This oil here, you place it 2 or 3 times within the area twice daily, or whenever it's needed. Another oil that I'm going to be talking about that I have created is the common plantain oil. Now, the common plantain oil is a wonderful treatment for cuts, scrapes, bee stings, and burns. It helps with cleaning wounds and healing the skin. Keep in cool, dark place when not in use. Now, a lot of people, again, were asking for an oil to help them with bee stings, burns, cuts, and scrapes. So this is a first aid medicine. I forgot to mention earlier that the Arnica oil here, Arnica oil, Arnica we call that in Cree A.W.A.H, which means sneezing powder. There's other names for this Arnica, but I can't remember it. I can't remember the names offhand right now. The common plantain is known as sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. Common plantain is known as frog leaf. It is also known. The leaf is also known as white man's foot. The reason why they call it white man's foot is because the long time ago when the soldiers used to walk around, they used to get blisters and gangrene and things like that, sores on their feet. So what happened is that these soldiers came to the Native American tribes, my tribe being one of them, the Plains Cree, and they asked for a medicine to help cure these soldiers that couldn't walk anymore. So the medicine they used here was a common plantain, which I'm holding right now. So they used this common plantain, and they cured the soldiers so they're able to walk again. Because back then, when you weren't able to walk and you were in the army, you would actually get shot in the head because you'd be considered useless to the army, especially if there was no medication around you to cure yourself. So our tribe and some other tribes in North America and South America, which we call Turtle Island, help cure these soldiers so they were able to walk and continue their duties. So that's why they call it white man's foot. The reason why we call it frog leaf, especially with the Woodlands Cree tribe, is because frogs tend to hang around the plant, especially when it's raining, and a lot of frogs will actually hide under the leaves to get away from the hot sun or to get away from the heavy rain. So that's a part of the reason why we call it frog leaf. So that is the common plantain oil, another very powerful medicine that was almost lost to the tribes for who knows how long. I would say hundreds of years, but the medicines are coming back to the culture. The fourth oil that I'm going to be talking about, fourth oil, is the Prairie Sage medicinal oil. Now, the Prairie Sage medicinal oil here is a wonderful oil treatment for bee stings, bug bites, scrapes, cuts, and to calm the nerves, especially when you're dealing with anxiety, depression, or when you can't sleep, when your nerves are shocked, and to help with hair growth. Now, a lot of people were asking for this medicinal oil to help them with hair growth. They wanted something that's natural that'll help them make their hair thicker, and it'll help their hair grow in a natural way. So a lot of people were asking for this oil throughout the year. They've been waiting for a few months, and now this oil is finally done. So this is an oil that'll actually help with the hair as well too. It helps with cleaning the wounds and healing the skin. Keep in cool, dark place when not in use. So again, in Cree we call this Basqua Mustoswigwasqua, the prairie sage, which means buffalo grass. The last oil I'm going to be talking about is the yellow goat's beard. The yellow goat's beard oil. Now, the yellow goat's beard, we call that in Cree, Plains Cree, Jaja Sigana. So it's the same name as a Arnica plant. Jaja Siganan means sneezing powder. Now, yellow goat's beard oil is a wonderful treatment for diabetes. The high inulin content in the root makes this medicine a useful food additive for diabetes. Inulin is a polypore of one of the simple sugars, fructose, which is produced by the plant to store energy. Add oil in food or drink. Keep in cool, dark place when not in use. Sorry again. So this oil is helpful with people with diabetes. People with diabetes, and especially those people, like I know a couple of them. Like I know in my First Nations area here, we're one of the highest rates of diabetes. And I know a lot of people that will not take insulin, that they prefer the pills. And there is some people out there that are looking for a more natural alternative to treat their diabetes, especially if they're not taking insulin. So yellow goat's beard oil is a perfect medicine for those situations. For you or for someone you know. Now, I'm hoping I didn't forget any other oils here. So I explained about the Fairybell oil, how it's used. I explained about Prairie Sage Magic Oil, the Arnica oil, the common Plantain oil, so that's 4 oils right there. The Prairie Sage Medicinal oil, and the yellow goat's beard oil. So that's, again, that is 6 oils that I've created, and 6 oils that'll help my future clientele and my current clientele with their ailments. There is some other products that I do have, which I'll explain about in a different video, which are other oils and ointments that I've created. Before I go here, I just wanted to show you guys that I was actually in a newspaper a couple times. This one here is a story that was from Lloydminster that explains about me and about the work that I do. So that is the Lloydminster newspaper. There's also another newspaper that was written about me in North Battleford, Saskatchewan. So before I go to, I also want to mention that every purchase with every oil will be coming with these, with one of these droppers. So it's easy for you to dab the oil in your area if it's going to be used on your body or your property or your area. And the papers that I was just reading from, you guys will be getting those information as well too. You guys will be given these information as well too when you purchase the oil. So that way, if you forget something that I just talked about in a video, or if you forget it what's on the website, I do give you these papers, you know, that is dated of when the oil was made and things like that. Again, if you're interested in my products or any other products that I carry, please go to www.elfangelscreations.ca and please contact me for more information. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.